Hi, my name is Norma Mbaliwe, and I self-published my fantasy novel, The Keepers of PR, in 2023 in Nigeria. Yeah, I self-published it in Nigeria, and in this video I'm going to share everything I did to self-publish my book and the mistakes I made so that you will not have to do the same. The suffer I suffered, you will not have to do it. These mistakes, I would not have made them if somebody had actually shared in detail their entire process of self-publishing their book while in Nigeria. Because I see people self-publishing their books abroad, then shipping it over to Nigeria. But like, I did everything from scratch in Nigeria, and I'm going to share everything I did. So in this video, I'm going to be talking about how I got my book cover, how I got ISBN, the Amazon US phone numbers I used to log in to my Amazon account, how I got my tax identification number in Nigeria, how I formatted my book size, how I copyrighted my book, and apart from Amazon, where else can I host my book, whether paperback or ebook, as a person from Nigeria living in Nigeria. If you are seeing my face for the first time, hi, my name is Norma and I'm an author. This is my fantasy novel, my debut novel, The Keepers of PR. It's a new adult fantasy novel set in the Garden of Eden, where like 22, 23-year-olds try to save the Garden of Eden, and that's the place that they've been living all their life. It's a Christian fantasy, but it's not cliche, because I think maybe that's what people tend to imagine once I say it's Christian fantasy. And it's a 3-book series. This is the first book in a series, and I'm working on the second book currently. This YouTube channel is me documenting everything I've learned as a person who is trying to make a career from her passions, that is writing, filmmaking, and content creation. When I made the decision to self-publish my book, I knew it was going to be difficult because I had like heard people, other authors sharing their experiences of how they self-publish their books. But I didn't know it was going to be this difficult and this frustrating, especially if you're in Nigeria. Self-publishing is going to drain you. And the thing is, I was watching a lot of experiences from the point of view of people that were abroad. A lot of people that are living in the US or Canada or UK, nobody in Nigeria. So while I share my experience of self-publishing in Nigeria, I'm also going to be sharing the tips that I learned along the way, so that if I don't explicitly mention like a tip, you learn from the corners that I took to actually like get those things. You would think that, okay, when you're watching somebody in the US talking about their self-publishing experience, you have the same experience, because like technically the world is a global market, and like the things they experience there, we can experience it. They have Amazon. Technically, even though we don't have it in the country, but at least you can access it. Like, it's not going to be that it's not going to be that difficult now, my dear. Minus the actual disadvantages of self-publishing your book, there are specific challenges and struggles that you're going to face while self-publishing, simply because you are Nigerian. Like, that's all. Like, people are going to say, oh, self-publishing is going to be costly, all the work is on you. Plenty of people say the disadvantages of self-publishing, but like, there are things that will happen because you're Nigerian. Some things are relatively easy to get when you're in a foreign country. Like, Amazon offers print on demand to many foreign countries, but in Nigeria it doesn't exist here. You have to print like in bulk, so you're in charge of holding your books, selling your books, and like, you have to have the money first to print your book. Print on demand, a person buys the book, then the printer prints the book and sends it. So they print one after the other, like one at a time. So if somebody orders for 2, they only print 2, and like, you don't have to spend money. They'll just take the cost of printing from the money. But in Nigeria, you have to actually give a printer your money, your full money, and for them to print, and they'll print like 100, 1,000, 2,000, depending on your budget. And the thing is that the less you make, like if you are making 100 copies, is way more expensive than you printing 1,000 copies. Obviously, the money will increase as you go, but like on an individual level, if you want to bring 2,000 copies of a book and you are printing it for 6,000 naira per book, if you are printing 100 copies, they're going to print like maybe 9,000 per book, and that's still going to be relatively expensive. So for somebody like me that had a tight budget, like when I say tight, I mean tight. I'm a university student, so budget was like extremely tight for me to like self-publish my book, but I managed to still work with the tight budget I had. But I still made several mistakes along the way. So if you have a tighter budget, or even if you have like a bigger budget, there are just some things that will just be helpful that I'm going to say. The first thing I'm going to talk about is the cover of your book. So people, if you're like me, I tend to like imagine the covers of my book while I'm still writing it. So I can just get a random image from online and just put it together, put text on Canva, and just imagine how it looks like. But when you want to publish your book and share it for the world to see, please do not pick any random image from the internet and try to like just say it's your cover because of copyright. So it's not your image. So far as you're making money from your book, you cannot use somebody else's image and put it on your own cover and say, okay, this is my cover. Like, you cannot, unless you want them to sue you. Please don't try it. Your book could be an abstract cover, a Photoshop realistic cover. It could be an illustration like this, or it could be an actual photo that you take and like use it as a cover. Because I see plenty books like A Little Life. A Little Life has a photo as the cover. I had been brainstorming for months. I had been brainstorming cover ideas of what I wanted my book to look like. And after researching, one book that I read and I loved the cover so much was Rage of Dragons. I really loved the cover. It was detailed. It showed a lot of things about the world, about just the minor things you see about the characters, the minor things you see about the dragons. It was such a perfect cover, and I wanted something like that, not the exact artistic style, but something that depicts the world, a few characters, a few things from a scene in the book. And I think I used AI to just imagine how it would come up in my mind, and I did, and it was very nice. But like, AI will shall look wonky, and it's not going to be like very good shall. For a cover like the Rage of Dragons, you need money, because minus you hiring a correct artist to do the work for you, the person will charge you heftily. So I said, okay, let me look for something simple. I researched on how fantasy covers look like, especially new adult and young adult fantasy novels, and I saw like a lot of things that were similar. Like they had flowers, they had crowns, they had swords, they had other things that were just like relative to fantasy. So for romance genre, there are things that are like specific for romance. Nowadays, a lot of people like to do all these two couples illustrated on romance covers. But like, look for trends when you are looking for your book cover. Don't think that, okay, just because I like it, people will like understand the genre. Based on the trends of how fantasy covers look, especially Oibo fantasy covers, like this seems fantastical. It looks like a fantasy book. After much deliberation, I've settled on a flower, because a flower is a main thing in my book. One of my friends offered to design my book for me for free, but when I needed the cover, she was extremely busy, so I had to go to Fiverr. I went to Fiverr and searched for, tight budgets. I searched for very cheap artists. I looked at what they had already done, and based on their style and some other things, I said, okay, like I like this person. I messaged the first person and I told her what she wanted. I can't remember what happened. That one fell through, and then I messaged the second artist. I described what I wanted. I told her what it was for, and said yes, she can do it. She sent me the first few images, like just to make me understand what she had imagined. And I told her that, okay, I prefer the second one, this flower. While she was working on it, trying to make improvements, she now said, okay, it's time for payment. So she told me to pay. So that was the number one mistake I made in this thing. I thought everybody uses Fiverr. Authors hire on Fiverr, and I thought that since other foreigners use Fiverr, I'll be able to use Fiverr as a Nigerian. Fiverr did not work for payment. I went ahead to pay, and they told me that, for Nigeria you can only use PayPal, and in Nigeria PayPal is banned. Why will you say only in Nigeria you can use PayPal? And I'm like, okay, what are other cards? I used my card. I know that my card sometimes does not work with all these online payments. I went to my mommy's card, because I know my mommy's card sometimes used to work for all these foreign payments, because I had used her card one time to make my website. So I expected it to work. It did not work. That was when all hell went loose. I spent days creating virtual cards, foreign accounts. Like I spent so much time trying to make a card that will work. I used Flutterwave. I used Cheaper Cash. I used. But the thing is that the issue was not with the cards. It was just with the only payment process that they gave me. It was only PayPal that I could use. I see PayPal. So it was like, what am I going to do? I even reached out to people that were abroad that I knew. Like, maybe I'll use your card or something. VPN. It did not work. I found out later that VPN cannot work. VPN can only work for you when you use to create the accounts, not for you to change VPN does not work on Fiverr unless you start the account with a VPN. So if you started the account in Nigeria, you turn on the VPN, I change it to US, it's not going to work. So that Fiverr issue did not work. By that time, it was already 2 days of me back and forth with the artist. I'm like, I'm sorry, I cannot pay, so on and so forth. This is what is happening, and like, can you give me, because she was an Indian, can you give me your actual account number, like your Indian account number, so that maybe somebody I know will be able to do a wire transfer to you? And she blocked me. She blocked me. So, and this is that I was already panicking around that time when I was trying to explain that I could not pay to her, because, like, you know, Nigeria has a bad reputation of being like scammers. So I was really like, oh my god, this girl, does she think I'm trying to scam her? Because usually they tell all these gig workers on Fiverr that they shouldn't accept payments except on Fiverr, because Fiverr is like trustworthy. You'll be able to collect their payments and I give them. So if somebody offers to pay you out of the site, it's like most likely they are a scammer. So she blocked me and I cried. Yeah, I just did not know like where do I begin? I was already very close to my publication dates, and like I did not have a cover. So I kind of did something. I think that before she blocked me, I emailed her. So I already had her email, but I don't know why she didn't reply. But, like, I emailed her. So when she blocked me, I emailed her again. I said, I'm sorry. I'm going to try to figure out what happened and how to resolve it. But, like, I'm still going to use your cover. I'm going to use your cover. I'm going to credit you in my copyright page and every other place. But I'm going to use your cover, and when I resolve it, I'll come back and pay you, obviously, because, like, I have faith, I have hope that my book is going to blow, and I cannot come and I'll be having scandal that, oh, she not pay her artist, she not. So I shall told her that I'm still going to use your cover. Once I resolve this Fiverr, PayPal, Nigeria issue, I'm going to pay. And I designed this text by myself. I did the back. I used some kind of, I did this too. So the only thing she did was this flower, like the actual image, but I did the text. Eventually, I found a way to resolve it. I did that this year. I published the book last year, December, and I finally paid her this year. So if you want to use Fiverr, my tip is to find somebody that works on Fiverr in Nigeria, not to hire them. Like, you know, so there's some people that write on Fiverr. The person I reached out to, I don't know what she does, but I know she works on Fiverr. So what I did is that I hired her in a way and told her to DM that artist that, oh, can you remember this girl that you did this work for? Hired her to pay to the other girl, because the Nigerian girl on Fiverr already has a way to maneuver the thing. So I hired her, told her to pay the artist on Fiverr, and then I'll give her like commission for the work. So that's what she did. She spoke to the girl, she accepted payments, and the girl paid. Then I paid her back the money for the art and like commission too, like for her hard work for helping me out. So if you want to hire somebody on Fiverr, look for a Nigerian Fiverr person that can help you. Maybe because they have PayPal, or they should have a way to pay. I don't know, but they should have a way. Also for cover, if you notice, it's only about the book that's here. There's no about the author. And yeah, one thing I made a mistake with this particular book was I did not have a barcode of my ISBN here. I forgot that. But like, this is just an exclusive author copy. But when I am making for readers, I'm going to add a barcode of my ISBN. So for the back cover, I added only about the book. I don't have about the author, because I realized that trends nowadays, they have about the author at the back of the book, not on the actual cover. So I decided to do this. Usually there's about the book, there's a little bit of like a praise for the book. Oh, Chinua Achebe Chinua Achebe said, oh, this book is the best book I've read in my life, all those kind of things. But about the author is usually inside at the back of the book. So if you also want to, like, that's something to also think about. So for ISBN stands for International Standard Barcode Number. I think so. It is 11 numbers or 13 numbers, and it is supposed to be on your copyright page. Once you get your ISBN, you turn it into a barcode for you to put at the back so that you'll be able to scan it. So I got my ISBN for 35 for one ISBN from the National Library website in Nigeria. So I found out that ISBNs are cheaper in Nigeria than in US. I don't know why they are selling their ISBN for $27. Here it's $35. And the thing is that each version of your book has a different ISBN. So your ebook has a different ISBN, your paperback has a different ISBN, your hardback has a different ISBN. I got ISBN for ebook, but once I found out it was only one ISBN I could get, or to like deposited my book at the National Library, I decided to use that ISBN for physical book. Yeah, so they should not stress me. One thing I'm struggling with right now is that I cannot get another ISBN under my name until I drop 2 copies at the National Library for them to actually say that, okay, this ISBN belongs to this book. This one I said is a series. I might have to buy an ISBN for more expensive from all these ISBN retailers. So ISBN retailers tend to be like 10K, but if you buy directly from the National Library site, it is 3-5. So the next thing you need to think about is formatting your book. Formatting is just the size of your book. You need to choose between 8 by 5 or 8.5 by 5.5 or 6 by 9, or if you want a small book. I looked at all the books that I had. Many of them were 8 by 5, but this book is 9 inches by 6 or 6 by 9. So the reason why I not go with 8 by 5 is because the pages are plenty, and if I go with 8 by 5, like the book is going to be shorter, that means the pages are going to be longer, that means it's going to be more expensive to print. So I decided to go for 6 by 9, and I will go for 6 by 9 for the 3 series. If I find a way to reduce the pages and make it 8 by 5, I will do that for the reader copy. At the moment, readers can only access the ebook copy unless they are buying from Amazon. But if you are buying in Nigeria, you can only buy the ebook on Seller. But this is only my author copy, but I'm working on printing for like my readers. Formatting also includes the book, like all these lines here, this thing here, the header, the pages, how everything looks. When you check on YouTube, you can format your book on Microsoft Word, but it's so stressful. I started it, I was like, I don't want this much stress, because like obviously self-publishing is stressful. I'm not going to add formatting again to it. I'm like, I don't want. So I searched for apps that can help me do it, but the ones I was seeing, like Vellum, Atticus, they were collecting so much money that I did not have. So I said no, not paid ones. I'm looking for free ones. So I found 2 free ones that I can recommend. You can check Readsy and you can check Draft to Digital. Draft to Digital, you can publish your book there, but I just used the formatting option to format the book. So Draft to Digital is what I recommend. Also Readsy, but the thing is that Readsy will want to add their name into the copyright page. They'll be like, oh, you know, copyright page, you have like this copyright belongs to Norman Balewe, was published in 2023, formatted by Readsy. I'm like, I get since it's free, but I don't want. So I went with Draft to Digital. And Draft to Digital, you can make a PDF or you can make an EPUB for your book. So let's go to copyright. In Nigeria, once you write your book, automatically you have the copyright. You don't need to register at the National Copyright Commission. You could, if you have the money. But the thing is that, it's true, I'm a law student. Yeah. You don't need to register at National Copyright Commission. You could, but once you have written the book, automatically you have the copyright. So you just look for a template that just gives you all the basic details of copyright. The copyright will include copyright at Norma Balewe 2023. This novel is a work of fiction. You shall talk all rights reserved. Talk about all these things. You now add your ISBN number. You talk about first published and the publisher. I used Quiltman's Creative House and cover design by Sanjida Smriti. So that's what you include in your copyright page. So if you're looking for a copyright page, just look for templates online and you'll find it. So where do you host your book for readers to find? Number 1, the most popular, Amazon. That's it. Is there more to say? Amazon. But like in Nigeria, there's more to say, because like you think that okay, you just open an account and put your book and something. When I went to create an Amazon account, tell me why they're asking for US number. US number. You know all this when you're signing up for a website and there's like a place to change your number to a Nigerian one or to +234. Amazon did not have that. It was only US. I'm like, why? So I'm like, it has to be a kind of misunderstanding. I don't know, because I'm not using a VPN. So that's how another thing, I started searching for how to get a US number. Everybody was telling me, oh, you can get a US number if you register your LLC with us, or if you do this, or if you do that, or come and pay $30, or if you come, I'm crying. I don't know if this has only happened to me, this US number thing, because I have a few friends that logged into Amazon and they did not even ask for the number. So I don't know why it only happened to me. But if it happened to you, what I did, I went online. I found a public US number registry. I'll leave the exact website for you to check. You have like hundreds of US numbers. You pick the one you want. You copy it. You go and paste it on Amazon. Then Amazon will send you the login link. I'll be all these things. Your code is 374 or something. You go back to that exact number because other people are using that number with you. So people are using it to log into other things. It's quite dangerous because I was quite scared when I was doing it. But like I had to use it. Go back and copy that code, paste it there, and that's it. They've not asked me for US number since then. But if they continue asking, just memorize that number. Not memorize, at least screenshot that number so that you'll be able to like have easy access to it, and screenshot the websites too. Not that you know the number, but you don't know where the number is from. So I hope you understand. So once I logged in, it was pretty much straightforward. Put your book, you talk about the title, summarize the book, the blurb, the author, any other credit you want to give. It goes to one part for account numbers. Amazon doesn't have space for Nigerian bank accounts, so you have to get a foreign account. I started with Payoneer. To log in to Payoneer was the worst. It took me days. It still did not work. The login code that they were claiming they sent did not come into my phone. So I gave up on Payoneer. Then after a few other tries, I tried Cheaper. Cheaper Cash did not have a US at that time, and they're collecting 5K. Thank God I don't even pay that 5K until I found out that their US was not working at the time. I went to GigPay. GigPay too had issues. I went to Payday. That period, I downloaded like 7 international banking apps, something like that. And all of them had comma. I remember like putting my BVN and NIN and all those registration things that you do. And all of them should do one thing. Eventually, I got with Gray. Gray did not have US at that time. So I got the UK account. I put it in the Amazon something. He said, okay, yeah. How it works is that Amazon will not, if somebody pays for your book, Amazon will not give you that money immediately. They will give you like at the end of the next month. So let's say somebody bought your book April 3rd. Amazon will not probably give you that money until like May ending, something like that. Then Gray will take a few more days to like process it and like then give you your money. So I use Gray to collect my money from Amazon. The next thing is your tax identification number as a Nigerian. So you can go to the JTS website. That's where I got mine from. I made a mistake, so I had to go to FIRS in Lagos, Federal Inland Revenue Service, and they had issues. They had sent me to Lagos State Internal Revenue Service, something like that. So you could either use the JTV website, you could go to FIRS to make your own personal identification number, or you could go to Lagos State or your state's inland revenue something. So you just tell them you want to create a personal identification number. So on Amazon I have the ebook, so it's on EPUB format. Then I have paperback and I have hardback. Apart from Amazon, where else can you publish in Nigeria? For years now, I have been preparing that I was going to publish my book on Okada Books when it was ready to be published. But Okada Books shut down in November, and I published my book in December. So Okada Books, I do not use Okada Books at all. So the places I use in Nigeria, especially for ebooks, I use Seller and I use Bambooks. Seller, you put your book there, the people will get the actual copy. And that's a little bit dangerous because like people can like share your books because they have like the actual EPUB copy and they can share it via WhatsApp or email to their friends and so on. So I was like a little bit skeptical about Seller, but that seems like the most reasonable way right now because Seller will take 5% of payments. So if a book is my book is 2,200 naira on Seller, and 5%, they'll try to give me like 2,001 something or 2,086 naira, something like that. That seems quite fair. But other places that I found a few places, I don't want to mention names, that will host your book, but they will do a split share kind of mathematics. They'll take 70% and give you 30%. I'm like, you're not even popular. Let's say Amazon too is a thief. They are stealing. But like, Amazon is more popular. People trust Amazon because they've been there for years. They've been there for decades. So I can understand you wanting to give me 30% royalties and you keeping 70% royalties, because number one, you printed the book with yourself. Like, Amazon will print the book for you, and they will host the book, and people can relatively sometimes find the book accidentally on Amazon without you like promoting it. But the people that were saying that they'll do 70% shares, I'm like, it's my audience. I will still bring my people to you. Nobody knows of you. Nobody, like, the people that are on Amazon, for one, maybe they are doing Kindle Unlimited, for example. They are there and they are reading, so they can find authors. But like, the thing is that it's me that will bring people to those people that are asking for 70% shares and giving me 30%. I'm bringing my audience to you, and like, they're not going to read other people's books. They are there for my own books, and they'll go away. Why you 30%? What kind of thievery is that? So I did not even go with those ones, and I'm with bound books. Bound books too. Bound books works like Kindle Unlimited in a way, and bound books pays you per page read. So if your book is 400 pages, like my book is 400 pages on bound books, and even in real life is 406 pages, and bound books will pay you per page read. Bound books customers will pay money, maybe like, I think the last time I checked, was it 10K or something like that? I can't remember. They'll pay 10K and they'll have access to all the books that are there, and per page read you get paid. So if somebody reads 200 pages, you shall get paid for that 200 pages. But the only thing I don't like about bound books, they don't tell me how much pages were read, number one. Number two, how much each page costs. So I'll just get a random credit from bound books. They're giving me 150 naira. And I'm like, 150 naira? How many pages were read? And how many pages does it cost? Like, and how much does this page cost? So if each page is 10 kobo, at least I'll know that, okay, somebody read 50 pages and gave up. Bound books is out there. So if you want bound books, you can go. And I don't want to seem like a bad belle, but everybody has room for improvement. But for an author on these platforms, these places are quite stressful. They're annoying. But at this point, like, I'm just like, where else? I've been talking for like 1 hour 30 minutes, and I recorded a video just before now, and I'm still like recording, so my throat is tired. So let's talk about printing your books in Nigeria. So I have only printed this one copy, but I've made inquiries about printing like plenty copies. Amazon can ship copies of their book to Nigeria, but like, it costs an arm and a leg, because I think they'll charge you only for printing if you are ordering as an author, but like, that printing too is expensive, and you have to do like customs, you have to do like delivery fee, all those things. So it's just better to print in Nigeria. So in Nigeria, the more copies you print, the cheaper it is. So people tend to say, oh, print 2,000 copies. I'm like, do I have 10 million naira to print? I don't know. So because I really wanted a copy, I printed one copy. This one copy was 35,000 naira, and I printed it in Ilorin, where I am. I'm currently schooling in Ilorin, and I reached out to a printer in Ofagarat side and printed this one copy. So but if I want to print for my readers, if I want to print like mass copy, I'm not even print up to 1,000 right now at the moment, but like maybe, you know, later. But for the prices I've seen of 50 copies, it is for the amount of pages, because this is 400 pages, and depending on the hardness of this thing, this is 250 mgs. This is 250. If you want something thicker, if you want hardback, the price will increase. So based on my research, I've researched a lot of publishers, especially for self-publishers in Nigeria. I've researched quite a few, and if I want to print mass copies, I either go with Print Dr. Africa or Warrital. Warrital, I love their quality. Print Dr. Africa, their quality is okay, but for the price, it's relatively cheap. So Print Dr. Africa, Warrital. But there are a few other places you can check online. Especially Instagram, I found a lot of them on Instagram. Warrital has a price range too on their Instagram page, and Print Dr. Africa actually has a pricing calculator on their website, so printdrafrica.com. So you put the amount of words, you put in the pages you want, if you want ISBN and some other things, and they will tell you like the exact down to the kobo the amount of money that you need to print 50 copies, 100 copies. The minimum is 50. You cannot print less than 50 for Print Dr. Africa. So for promotion, that's like trying to get readers to read my book. I've not done a lot. I've not done the best I can do regarding like promoting of my book, because it's a series and I don't want to do wasted effort to have wasted momentum. So I'm trying to like publish the second book of the series at least before I go in aggressively on like promotion. And my ideal way of promotion is social media, TikTok and Instagram, but mostly TikTok. Apart from me posting on TikTok, I'm also reaching out to book reviewers on Instagram and TikTok and trying to see if they can read my book and review it on their platform. So I've reached out to a few Nigerian and a few foreign, and a few people have said they're going to read it, but sometimes because I'm reaching out to them for free, like I'm telling them like I don't have money, I'm not a priority. So I don't want to seem like a leech, like telling them, oh, have you read it? Have you? So maybe I'll find out a way of like working around that issue of promotion. But for now, I'm not aggressively promoting it. Maybe sometimes it's just me being insecure. Not insecure, but maybe a fear of success. But the thing is that I want success, but I don't know why I'm still afraid of it. But like also, but fear of success is a way of fear of failure too. Like if people read the book and they don't like it. But yeah, at the moment I don't think I have up to 20 buyers so far, like people that have bought the book. Sometimes I get worried because it's like almost 6 months since I published. But I know I know that my book is going to find its readers, and humble beginnings, all this, do it for the plot. So I'll say, oh, back then I had like 20 readers or something. But like I hope this video helps you. Like if you want to self-publish, like everything I said had use, because if I had known that in Nigeria is so hard, I probably would have like had other alternatives before I reached out to those ones. If what I said helped, please like this video, share with an author friend or a writer friend that wants to self-publish in Nigeria, and leave a comment. You can ask a question in the comments, or you can just leave like a star emoji. Please leave a star emoji down in the comments, just for engagement, so that other people that are in Nigeria that want to self-publish will be able to see this video. And don't forget to subscribe. I talk about writing and creating a career from your passions. So till next time.